Iron Fury has caused a lot of controversy for a game that was only released on August 15th. Before it even came out, the publisher 3D Realms was sued by a very famous band over its original title, Iron Maiden. In response to the legal action, they changed the title to Iron Fury. But that's not all. The game also featured some controversial slang, and there was an outcry for it to be removed. 3D Realms acted and made changes in response, and then this stemmed a review bomb crying out against censorship. Unfortunately, they cannot win either way, it seems, but fortunately, I'm not here to talk about controversy. I'm here to look at the game for what it is. Iron Fury was developed by Voidpoint on a modified version of 3D Realms' build engine, which was originally created in 1995 and used most notably for Duke Nukem 3D. Iron Fury is the first game published using the build engine in about 20 years, so you know this is going to be an old school style game. Despite using the outdated technology, Voidpoint was able to develop a Doom-like FPS game that looks gorgeous by 2019 standards. You play as Shelly Bombshell Harrison, an all-around awesome character who brings personality to the game. Valerie Rem does a fantastic job bringing an amazing personality to the role, and the voice lines are all funny. Well, most of them at least.
Clean up on aisle your ass!
I guess they can't all be winners. The story takes place in a cyberpunk world that is full of environments that are interesting to look at and fun to explore. The game also has little jokes and references scattered throughout the world, adding a nice touch to it. While the later levels never quite matched the aesthetic appeal of the earlier ones, each one was so different than the previous one, I was always excited to see what was next. But not only are these levels great to look at, they're also amazing to explore. Iron Fury features some of the best level design I've seen in an FPS game in a while. Every path has a secret, and every part of the map finds a way to loop back and create a shortcut to the beginning of the stage, making it almost feel like an open world map. When I say every path has a secret, I mean there are secrets hidden everywhere, and they are not easy to find. There are some items I found through elaborate means, and I was excited I found a secret, but then I realized this was just the correct path forward. The real secrets are much harder to find. Sometimes the secrets would be strange though. I didn't understand the point of hiding temporary damage or grenade power-ups in places so remote that you can't find them without clearing the enemies in the area first. Even if hunting and exploring worlds isn't your thing, there's still a great FPS game here. The weapons are fairly well balanced. You find yourself low on ammo and all guns all the time, but always having just enough to get through an ultra viscerous difficulty setting. This keeps you pretty frequently cycling through and using all the different guns. Unlike many FPS, most of the guns feel effective and useful. Nothing feels too weak. They also have some interesting weapons, such as these bowling bombs, which are awesome. However, where the weapon variety feels strong, the opposite is true for the enemy variety. Every level features the same cyborg, with slight color changes. It can be a bit repetitive. But what they lack the most variety in was their voice lines. The enemies spamming "fan out" over and over gets a bit tiring. They do add some more enemies in what feels like the second half of the game, but even the extra variety does not feel like much. It was too little too late. That's a minor complaint though. The fighting and combat was a lot of fun. While the AI might have some issues, such as standing in corners and a delay in reaction time, it doesn't happen often enough to hinder the game. Another minor complaint I had with the game is that there is no indication when you need to reload, so the best bet is just to keep hitting reload when you're free. Though honestly, I feel like this is the type of game that doesn't need to have reloading. Just let us go ham, that's the style of the game this is. It's also confusing when my 18-shooter pistol forces me to reload after just 6 shots. This is all nitpicking though, because overall the game was fantastic. A few issues and minor bugs aside, I had a ton of fun with the game, and it was a long one for an FPS. After clearing out every level, you spend extra time exploring it like a playground full of secrets, and it really adds to the gameplay time, but it's just so much fun you're driven to do it. In all, I spent about 21 hours to complete the game, over 7 stages, and I enjoyed every second of it. I've gone through a lot of Doom-like shooters lately, and many of them were great, but this feels like the best of them all. The level design is some of the best you'll see in an FPS, and even with all the time I spent on it, I was still only able to find half the secrets. I highly recommend you check out Iron Fury, especially if you're into FPS games, or eating trash off the floor. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed my review for Iron Fury. If you did, stick around and I'll continue creating more gaming reviews. Thanks for stopping by.